Well, g'day guys. Welcome back out for yet another yonder. I'm here this weekend heading into a river that I've absolutely always wanted to explore. I'm just heading for a little overnight camp, so the plan is to head down into the river and spend a night somewhere upstream and hopefully have a bit of a bass fish as well. So it's meant to be a very hot weekend. There's a heat wave warning that's in place for most of New South Wales this weekend, and yeah, we're right in the midst of it here. So it's going to be a hot day into the 35s today and tomorrow, and then also a warm night. But anyway, let's get down there and check out the health of this river. Yeah, we'll get into a bit of fishing and exploring the river as well. Three-quarters of the way down the hill now, and it's started to get a little more rainforesty and starting to see a lot more of this bracken fern. And what's interesting about bracken, you see a lot of it on the Central Coast and Greater Sydney area, but it's actually a great form of bush tucker. It was a staple food source for Aboriginals of the region. They dig up the rhizomes and roast them up. So yeah, very cool plant, used widely across Australia, and you find it almost anywhere where it's a little bit damp. You tend to see these bracken ferns. So good one to keep in your back pocket and dig up the rhizomes, roast them on a fire, and yeah, great source of fibre. Anyway, let's keep heading on down this hill. Well, the terrain's just changed quite substantially now that we've dropped down into the river. You're starting to see a lot more vines, and there's also a lot more shade down here, which has made it nice and cool by the river, which I'm super happy about, especially given it's going to be 35 degrees a little bit later. So anyway, the river also looks absolutely prime. I just got my first glimpse of the river, and it's looking super clean and a good amount of water too. So I am very keen to get down there, and yeah, we'll start heading upstream. Just stumbled upon a Malacca berry, which is a really great berry. It's almost like the Australian equivalent of a raspberry, and they grow right along the east coast of Australia. And you can tell it's a Malacca berry. It's got these spiky, almost vine-like structures that come off it, and really broad, heart-shaped leaves. And the berries, they grow in clusters along the stem. So yeah, the ways you identify this plant is really just with the leaf. Got this broad free-lobe leaf, and then the berries, which you can see look a lot like a raspberry. Beautiful plant. You can see this one here has been eaten by a lot of birds. There's actually only one berry, which is what caught my eye, and I'm very keen to give it a taste. And you can see it's very much like a raspberry. And that's really nice. It's actually sweeter than I thought. I have heard they're meant to be a bit tasteless, but no, that was really bloody nice. Very, very happy to have spotted that one. Anyway, we're almost at the river. Let's get down there. Some more of these Malacca berries. What a great fruit. Might just stock up on them. You can see on this side there's just so many. Very, very cool. I've just made it down to the river, and man, it is so gorgeous down here. It's just super still. Aside from the cicadas, everything else is very peaceful, and you've got these big Sydney blue gums just everywhere, and it's really cool to see. It's definitely a very pretty environment down here. Not only that, but the river is in pristine condition. Well, if you watched my most recent video, you know that the last trip I went on, I got about 3/4 of the way down a very steep mountain, and then I snapped my rod, and that put me in a bit of a tight situation for that trip, and I really struggled to get a fish. But anyway, I've been a bit smarter this trip, and I've gone and got myself an early Christmas present, which is a 4-piece rod that can slot down in my pack like it was, and I don't have to worry about that then hitting trees, and it also frees up my hands to go and search for bush tucker and stuff like that. So very happy to use this trip, and yeah, hopefully we can christen it with some good fish. Anyway, let's get this set up. Whenever you're putting 2 pieces together, you're always going at an angle and then twist, and that's going to make it nice and strong. That way when you cast, you don't have the other end flick out in front of you. Alrighty, well, I've just chucked on a new lure, and I've popped on this little surface lure. Now whenever I head down into a new system, at the start of the day, I'll always go to surface first, and it gives me a good indication of if the fish are feeding on the surface. And as the day progresses and it warms up and the sun comes out, those fish are going to want to try and find shade either deeper in the pools or in the edges of the pools under tree branches, and that's when, if the fish aren't biting, you might consider going to subsurface. But I tend to have a lot more fun on the surface, and given the amount of insects around, I think this D-style lure will do pretty good today. Also, whenever you put on a surface lure, always recommend doing a loop knot, and you tend to get better action out of your surface lures that way. And typically, I only use fluorocarbon, but if you want to improve that again, monofilament's going to be better for your surface lures, just because it's a lighter leader. It'll float on the surface, whereas the fluorocarbon tends to sink, and sometimes that can affect the action of your lure. So all things to consider when you're new into fishing and just getting started. There's a lot to learn, and I'm always still learning. So anyway, with that in mind, let's go head upstream and try and get a fish. First ball I've come across and started fishing, and a little turtle came up and poked his head out there for a little while. Oh man, this place is so bloody pretty. Tell you what, since that sun's come out, it has gotten so bloody hot really quickly. But yeah, I've just swapped up the lures. I saw a lot of minnows in the water, so I've chucked on a minnow imitation, and hopefully I can get a fish on that. But I think while it's hot, I might just punch out a couple more K and then go for a swim. pretty bloody sick of carrying that pack around. Oh, my back is feeling it after those past couple of kilometres. Anyway, it's getting near lunchtime. It's about 1 PM now, so what I might do is just stop here. It's a pretty nice spot, and have a bite to eat, and then I'm keen to get the goggles out and just have a swim in the pool behind me as well. I've not had much luck on the fishing this morning, and it's pretty slow middle of the day, so yeah, the underwater world fascinates me, so I'm keen to get the goggles on and see what we can come up with. Well, not much luck spotting anything unfortunately, but I cannot overstate how bloody nice this water is. I think I might need to stay in and have a bit more of a swim. For my water purification this trip, I've just got a little Nuvo pod, and the idea is that's just going to cleanse the water of any nasties. It's not a filter, but it will purify the water and yeah, get rid of any bacteria and parasites that might be in there. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with the water of this stream, but I'd never drink it straight, just you never know what could be upstream. So this means I can still drink straight from the stream, but yeah, it gives me an extra layer of security. Alright, well, I'm feeling pretty revitalised after that swim and a bit of lunch, so might grab the pack and we'll head on upstream a couple of kilometres. I'll keep my eyes peeled along the way just for a nice camp spot where I can leave my pack there and then continue on without it. Otherwise, I think there is one in a couple of Ks, so worst comes to worst, it's 2 more Ks of scrambling over boulders, and then yeah, we can enjoy a relaxing evening. Man, this just feels like proper wilderness out here, eh? Alrighty guys, well I've just decided I'm gonna turn around and head back downstream. I haven't been able to find a good camp spot, but there was a couple of spots I saw downstream, like where we had lunch, that'd be okay. So I'm just really looking for a nice flat area with, you know, a good outlook as well. So yeah, I'm gonna head back downstream, and it's getting later in the afternoon now, so I'd like to put a lure on and get rid of the pack finally, and then get some fishing as well. So yeah, we'll try and find a camp, and then hopefully I can spend the later half of the afternoon just fishing. Well, I'm just back where I had lunch earlier, and I'm pretty happy with it. It's a really nice spot, but not only that, my legs and my shoulders are really bloody tired. I've been carrying around that pack since about 6:30 AM, and I'm just exhausted. So with that in mind, I might go for a quick swim and then we'll get the gear sorted. Oh, feels so much better after that swim. And that water is just the perfect temperature. I could have spent all afternoon in there. Anyway, I'm gonna get to work setting up the bedding, and then I've still got plenty of light in the afternoon, and I'd like to have another crack at the fishing. It's been pretty slow today, but I think in the afternoon we should have some better luck. So yeah, let's get the sleep situation sorted. Alrighty, well, this sleep situation's sorted and it was nice and easy tonight. And man, feeling so much more relaxed now than I was a minute ago. I was just, yeah, pretty stressed for some reason. I think just trying to pump out lots of kilometers and make it back, and yeah, sometimes you can let it get to your head, but after a swim I'm feeling, yeah, better than ever. So what I might do is chuck this guy in the stream and let it cool down for later. And then we'll grab the rod, head upstream, and I'm really keen to try and get a bass. I'm confident because we got plenty of hits this morning, and hopefully in the afternoon they'll start feeding and rise to the surface. Anyway, let's go give it a go. I think we might well have found ourselves a perfect cooler. As long as this guy doesn't go do anything dirty. Oh no! Yeah! Oh, good fish! Ew. Oh yeah! Oh no, don't go over there. There we have it. First little bass. First bass on my new rod. I'm stoked with that little guy. He fought really hard for his size as well. Missed a couple of hits there, but yeah, this guy came up and chomped it. So good. First fish on the board. Can't complain about that. Oh well, first little fish. Monkey is off the shoulders, and yeah, it's easy fishing here on out, so very keen to keep going. I did miss a couple more fish in that process, so yeah, they're definitely around and they're definitely biting. So why don't we have a few more casts and then we'll get back to camp and rip into dinner. Alrighty, well, I just made it back to camp and yeah, it was a one fish show, which not complaining about. I'm bloody stoked I got one on the board. Anyway, I'm pretty thirsty, so I might go grab that beer and yeah, chug away at that while we watch the last of the sunset. As hard as you can get to it, you ripper. Alrighty, well, it is time to crack a cold one. It has been a long and sticky day. And yeah, I can't wait for dinner. I think I need to rip into this. That's better. Let's go watch the last of this sunset. Before we lose all the light, I'd better get started on dinner. And for tonight, we've got a Greek-inspired gyros wrap. So I've got some chicken, which is a bit questionable. I'll give it a sniff before I cook it up. And also just some veggies. I'm going to do up a quick Greek salad to go on there. And some tzatziki as well to go on top. It is a total fire ban this weekend, which is why I don't have a fire going. And I'm going to have to use the cooker. But yeah, that's alright. You can understand why it's been bloody hot today, so yeah, I don't want to be putting the bush at risk by lighting a fire. Anyway, let's get started on the meal prep, which is basically just putting together the Greek salad. Greek salad's all done and that's looking pretty damn good, so might just check the chicken and then yeah, we'll get that on the stove. Alright, while that chicken's slowly cooking on the stove, I'll just get the gyros wrap prepared. So I've just got this pita bread and it got a bit destroyed in the pack, unfortunately. I'll put that on the bottom. I'll chuck in a bit of Greek salad on there. Now I'll chuck some tzatziki on top when the chicken's done. Well, I'm hoping this chicken's cooked enough. I've left it on there for a while, so fingers crossed I've gotten rid of any harmfuls. Let's get that on there. And then lastly but not least, I'll just chuck on a bit of tzatziki as well. Well, I'm actually pretty stoked with how that turned out. Very nice. Well, we finally got there in the end. And man, hot summers to me screams Greek salad. I absolutely love Greek food, and yeah, Greek salad's definitely up there. Whenever I replicate it out in the bush, it's yeah, always very nourishing. So I was intending on it being a bit more of a gyros wrap, but unfortunately the pita bread's just fallen apart, so having to eat it with a fork, which isn't too bad, but anyway, that's how it goes when it's just been flopping around in the pack for 15 kilometers today, so that's how my body feels as well, I think. Alright, well, I might finish the rest of this dinner off and then, yeah, wait for the full moon to rise. It's meant to come up soon, it's just taken a while, I guess, to come over the hills here, but very keen to watch that, and then I'll hit the hay. My body's very bloody tired, so yeah, definitely keen to get some rest tonight and then hit again in the morning. I'll see you then. Oh, good morning guys. Just woken up to the beautiful roar of cicadas. It's definitely not the most peaceful way to wake up, but it's telling me that it's going to be a bloody hot day. What I might do is just, while it's still relatively cool, I might head upstream and have another fish, and then yeah, we'll come back and pack down the gear. We've got a big walk today, so might have some brekkie early-ish and then get that behind me. Oh, there we go. Only a little fella, but pretty happy with that. There was about 3 fish following my lure then, so I think we might put this guy back and get the lure back out there. Oh well, can't complain about that. Just a little bass, and yeah, we had a couple of hits earlier, and I also saw about 3 or 4 fish following that lure, so yeah, I might keep fishing and hopefully we can get the next model up. Well, there we go. Just landed another nice little bass. Unfortunately, all the fish in here seem to be about this size. I've had a lot of follows, and they've all been pretty similar to this size, which is a bit of a shame. I'm sure there are bigger ones in here, but they seem to be harder to come by. Anyway, we might keep fishing for a little bit, and yeah, hopefully we can come onto a bigger model. Otherwise, what a cool little fish. Oh, oh shit. Oh crap. Well, that was pretty bloody sketchy. I was just rock hopping over these boulders, and yeah, went to jump up on a bigger boulder, and right there in front of me was this great big python. Thankfully it's just a diamond python, so nothing would have come of it, but man, that got the heart racing, eh? I was like, just right there face to face with it. Oh man. Very cool. I'll give you guys a closer look. Oh man, I bloody hate snakes. I like the idea of them. They're a very cool creature. Good on you, evolution. But when you're out here alone in the bush and come face to face with one, it really gets the heart pumping. And it's honestly, it's one of the biggest risks of me coming out here really is snakes. And I pretty much always see them. Normally it's a couple of meters ahead, I can give them a big berth. But yeah, when it's close like that, it really hits home. Anyway, I might have another quick fish of this pool up here and then head back, and I'm in need of a cup of coffee, so might get that sorted. There you go, another little bass. Alrighty guys, well I just made it back to camp, and yeah, might get to work just making a cuppa and getting into brekkie. I'm pretty hungry now, so yeah, very keen for a coffee and then also for a swim. It's started to heat up a bit now, and after all that walking, I'm pretty sweaty. Nothing too fancy for brekkie today. I've just got some Weet-Bix and Milo, which is pretty much my staple food when I'm at home as well. If you haven't tried Milo on your Weet-Bix, definitely give it a go. It's gotten me through 23 years of my life, and yeah, haven't looked back. Honestly, no better way to start the day than a bit of Weet-Bix. Anyway, it's pretty hot. I've left my run a little bit late and the sun's well and truly out, so I might start packing down my gear just to get it ready so I can yeah, walk out of here, but definitely want to have a swim before I do that. So yeah, just go quickly pack up my stuff and then go for a swim. Alrighty guys, well, gear's all packed down. I've cleaned up the camp and left no trace, and now I think we're definitely in for a swim. It's so bloody hot and I'm a bit sticky after putting away all the gear, so let's go for one quick dip in the pool here and then yeah, we'll head on out of here. Feels so much better. This water is honestly the perfect temperature for swimming. Oh man. Wild swimming does not get much better than this. Perfect water temperature, warm day, lots of little fish about. Couldn't be happier now. Alrighty guys, well that swim is so bloody nice. The wild swimming I think has definitely been one of the best parts of this trip. It's just such a great temperature in there, and hot days like this all you want to be is in the water. Anyway, I'm thinking all my gear's packed up and probably going to head on out of here. It's pretty bloody hot, so I won't film the way out, but I really hope you've enjoyed the trip. It's been a great mission. It's a shame we couldn't go onto some bigger fish, but still, what an awesome place to explore. It's just super ancient landscape here. It's really, really cool. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.